All right, what's up? But welcome to the Gossip Intellectual with me, comedian Royce, a win, where we talk about sports, politics, entertainment. Happy to be here, man. Super happy to be here. The world is crumbling. Okay, I get to do a podcast. Shout out to everybody going through things. I think there was another tragedy. There's tragedies all over the place. We're going to talk about some things that are going on. So I'm just always happy to be able to talk and have fun and to learn and get better. Did a lot of research for the podcast today, and I was like, you know what? The podcast is keeping me informed and like aware and like taking stuff in. So I was like, I need to just keep doing this because it's better for me on so many levels. As I always say, it's good for my confidence, good for my mental health and everything. So in good spirits, man, emotionally growing, right? You know, like there's like tests that come along. Like you go to class or you go to therapy, and then like you go out into the world, and then it's like, is all that stuff really working? For me, it is. I don't know. I see people on TikTok and podcasts all the time. It's just like, I just kept going and like nothing was getting better. And I was just like, well, I don't go anymore. But when all that stuff works, right? Like I just got tested so many times emotionally living in New York City. And it's just like, you know what? That's on them. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm doing what I can do. I'm improving and getting better. And obviously throws you off for a little bit. Doesn't always feel good to run into people who maybe are not at peace. It's New York City. A lot of people are not at peace with themselves. But you don't take it personally. You don't internalize it. You don't let it bruise your ego too much. And you wake up the next day, you wake up the next hour, and you go about your life doing what you need to do and spreading joy and peace. The comment that made me feel good was like, this lady was like, I always come to your page just to see you laugh. I love that. Right. It doesn't get any better than that, and except for the laughing emojis. Good, the laughing emojis are good for my ego if you listen to this podcast. So, tell me I'm funny. I need it. All right, I'm not perfect. Outside of that, it's finally summer in New York, June 3rd, right? Or today's June 4th. So yesterday I feel like it was like the first like decent warm day, and we could finally put the shorts on. Okay, we could finally put the jacket away. Every day it was just like, let me just put some pants on. Let me just grab a jacket just in case. And then it was 60 degrees at night at the end of May. It's like, what is this? So shout out to the people that are going on vacation. If you fly first class, you can get Shake Shack. I was like, that's what like planes are pretty much air prisons at this point. I hate flying, dog. I'm just like, I don't know how being a comedian is going to work for me. Maybe I'll just be a podcast comedian, because I'm not. Shout out to people that travel all the time. I don't know how y'all do it. It's prison in the air, which is even worse, right? You just have to sit and occupy your mind. I guess that's a good way to see if the therapy is working. If you can keep your mind from going crazy. Hopefully you're not sitting next to somebody crazy. In New York, you're always next to people, and you never know how it's going to go, but it's for a limited time, 30 to 45 minutes. In the air, it's 2 to 3, 4 hours, and you don't know what this person's bringing to the situation. I was thinking about that last night, too. I was just like, we got to get to know people more before we invest in them, okay? All right, talk to people. People tell you who they are once you talk to them. People can't hold it. They can't hold it in. So I just feel like, you're just watching these athletes get into these situations. I'm like, did they even get to know this person? I think if they really thought about it, and they were just like, man, if I really got to know this person, except for, hi and bye and some freaky text, then maybe I wouldn't be in this situation. So, in any type of relationship, get to know people. With family and stuff, you're forced to get to know people because you're stuck in a setting with them for a long period of time. So I don't know. Everybody's so horny, and people are ruining empires. We're watching men lose millions and millions of dollars over sex. Now, I read in a book one time, like, one of the most powerful, I don't know what the word would be, like, I kind of want to say motivators, but I think it's more than that. But it's just like things that can like control and take over your mind and kind of like take you into another place of sex, which is why the entertainment industry uses sex to push everything, to sell anything, apples, liquor, whatever. It's just a girl, and it works, Every day there's some girl going viral for a bikini pic, or some celebrity going viral for a bikini pic, and so it's just like I want that. So I just thought that was interesting, and I remember music being like number 7 on there, and I was like, it's crazy like how my thoughts and mood change so fast from one song, and then I'll switch the song, and then my thoughts and mood will completely change. So that's wild how much these things. So I think substances obviously are also a powerful part of controlling and changing your mood. So I was thinking about this real quick since we're talking about sex, and this celebrity was like, her age range for dating was like 25 to 70. And this other celebrity was like 50, and she was like, she dates older men. And this girl was just like, I don't want to deal with a 7-year-old man because like their dicks are wrinkly. And I was like, damn, so this lady doesn't know about dicks like that, because all dicks look the same. Like, they all work the same. They all feel the same. So the girl with more experience, I was like, 25 to 70 was kind of looking at her like, girl, the dick is the same. But then we were talking about these celebrity women who are going for younger D, and everybody's like, yeah, they're good. They want that young D. They want that young D. And then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? But older D is better. Like probably like 40 and up is maybe, I don't know what like 35 to 55 I think is like good D range, right? Because 25, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just jumping in there and I guess they're more athletic if you like it like that. But from my experience and what I know about women, I'm no expert. There's, you want to be a little bit softer, a little bit more sensual, and those guys have experience. They take their time, they're patient, they do all the things, and I guess they're more interested in what the girl is like. I feel like younger guys, it's more of a selfish situation, and they're more just trying to get what they want out of the situation. So I don't know. But then I guess other people are saying like maybe the young guys are more trainable and you can tell them what you like. But I don't know. I obviously am trying to work on my corn habits. Corn is so unrealistic to reality. And I don't pay for my stuff. So I'm just like always looking at, I'm like, nobody does this in real life. Like, why would people want to watch it? But I guess it's the cinema of it all. And I don't understand why girls want to get beat up like that for in it. Like who wants? It's very violent. Um, but yeah, people have different things, and it's it's kind of it's a little bit of work, and I don't know. You're working with somebody to achieve one goal, and I don't know. I just think we're unrealistic about it. But I was just thinking about that. I was like, I wonder if the young girls know that. I don't know why I get attention from these young girls. I don't know what it is. I'm like, clearly, I think I look a little bit younger in my face, but I don't know. Overall, my vibe, I feel like I act my age for the most part. I dress a little bit younger. I mean, I'm a New York entertainer, but um, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting, but that does throw me off all the time. I'm like, all these model looking waiters and stuff. I feel like the girls aren't into anymore, and they're not into They don't like the Zac Efrons as much. They don't like the super in shape Jews. They like Michael B. Jordan though. I don't know. But I don't know. I just want to talk about that. I don't know. I don't know why. All right. So we got a lot going on in New York City, in the world. I guess we'll start with the Diddy trial. Okay, so we left off with Mia's testimony, and I felt bad for her. I made a couple TikToks about it. A lot of people said she was lying because she didn't mention the grape in the essays when she talked to authorities, I guess, before she actually testified. I err on the side of I don't think people would lie about that. It seemed pretty detailed, and it's just a hard thing to talk about. So I was just like, if it was hard for sis to bring that up, and I think they had a psychologist come in and say, I mean, there's just a lot of shame with that. You feel like it's your fault. Like I don't know. I can empathize with that. If like just we've all been in a situation where something happened to you, and just any type of bullying, and I guess that is a form of bullying. The shaming you feel like it's your fault, and it's just something you're embarrassed to talk about. So you might not bring it up until you absolutely have to. But they said some of the jurors even kind of looked at each other like this lady is full of ish. They said Diddy kind of reacted like you're full of ish. So anyway, so Mia testified to multiple grapes by Diddy, threw the spaghetti at her, treated her like anything. So Diddy loved to throw things. So now they put this whole case together through the Cassie video. That's where it starts. That's like the biggest thing, I guess, coercion. She's trying to get away. He's bullying her into doing freak offs. And they're talking to the hotel employee. And so he said that he had the video. They had the video, and Diddy like harassed this guy, kept calling him, trying to figure. Said, "I'll take care of you," and gave the guy $100,000 a brown paper bag, put it in the money counter, like on Bad Boys 2 with Gabrielle Union, and gave him $100K. Dude said he took $30K for himself, gave it to the other guy, I guess, who got the video, and gave $50K to the guy who gave him the USB. So nobody knows how the video got out, because Diddy was like, this is the only copy, right? And he was like, I think so. So I don't know. The feds got the USB. The first thing that hit my mind was like, remember when Kim Porter said there's a rumor that Kim Porter sat down with Cassie and told her all the things. By the way, I just want to say, be careful what you do, especially to women, because women are just better at keeping track of things and holding on to things and remembering things, and eventually you will go down if you're doing evil stuff out there to women. So I do think this shows the power and strength of a woman. All these guys, they're all falling to women who just kept the receipts, and nobody learns. They just think they won't get caught. Anyway, so that guy testified. So that's huge because Diddy's team was trying to get this thrown out, and they're saying the video was fake. So now the forensics guy, Frank, I don't know if it's Piazza, testified today, and he's like, no, the video's real. Nobody edited the video. So now you got, so this ties into the whole RICO thing of him, what's the word? Paying off people, bribing people for the video. So it just shows over and over again that Diddy knew what he was doing. He knew how bad it was. He said this could ruin my career to the guy Garcia, who worked with the video in the hotel. Tried to pay off security guards when they came in the room for them to leave. When they saved Cassie and got him to leave. So it's not looking good. It's also looking bad for Christina Coram, who I think I forgot what she is. She's chief of staff. Basically, she's Diddy's right hand woman, and she was a person contacting Garcia a lot. She showed up in the lobby, called Garcia. They got her phone, so they got all the text messages and stuff. So people are saying, so she could get immunity, she might end up on the stand to testify against Diddy. And I'm just like, if she testifies, it's over, dog. She knows where all the bodies are buried. She has all the receipts. But they said she went ghost online and everything's gone. She went like Offset did today. So KK, and there's this picture circulating of her and Diddy looking stressed by the pool. Diddy was stressed because he had on blue sweatpants and a black t-shirt. Like, he actually looked his age for one. He wasn't dressing hip hop then. He didn't look like a bad boy then. Okay. So yeah, and then then they had the CFO, the guy who was doing like all chief financial officer guy, who was doing all his finances and stuff. And I think the reason they're talking to him, the biggest thing with him was that it showed the payment of the $20K to Cassie's dad. So obviously that goes into pressuring. I don't know. I know it goes into the RICO somehow. Let me see. What is the RICO Diddy charge? Because when people think about RICO, everybody's thinking about the mob, but there's different types of RICO. So RICO charge Diddy, like, you don't have to have a bunch of dead bodies all over the place for it to be a real RICO, y'all. All right, so the racketeering charge stems from allegations that Combs led a criminal enterprise involving a pattern of illegal activity, including bribery and obstruction of justice. So that's in the RICO. The kidnapping, Capricorn Clark talked about, allegedly restraining or abducting individuals. Forced labor, that's Cassie, obviously. And sex trafficking is also Cassie. So they got him on a RICO. RICO is racketeer, influence, and corrupt organization. And now they got his chief financial officer talking about the payments. So he's obviously using his business bad boy to do criminal activity and pay off people that he was coercing to do criminal activity or sex trafficking acts. So sorry for the ambulances. Welcome to New York. All right. So yeah, so they had the CFO testify. Now, I don't know. The defense was questioning the CFO, but I didn't see how they brought him down. If I see something today, I'll talk about it on the next podcast. But I didn't really see any loopholes in it and what this CFO was doing, because they asked if he ever went to his house or if he was ever around them. So I guess they were trying to say the CFO was kind of like off doing his own thing, so he wouldn't really know if Diddy was involved in criminal activity, I guess. This is a common sense comedian podcast, so we don't know. All right. And so the first part of the testimony from Brianna Bangalone today said Diddy held her over a balcony. She still can't sleep, has nightmares about that. Yeah, I have nightmares about bills, so I know she got nightmares about being held over a balcony. And what was the other thing? Oh, she said she witnessed Cassie and Diddy on some Mr. and Mrs. Smith throwing knives at each other in the kitchen. Like, came in, banged on the door, threw a knife at her, and then she threw the knife back. Then he left. So that's the first time I heard Diddy ever back down. Because usually it's like Diddy took it to an extreme point. He's like, damn, now I got to get her plastic surgery. But this time he was like, you know what? You got it tonight. So it does seem like it was some type of toxic, like, what do you call it? Routine that they had. Or he was just that psycho and he just loved terrorizing her. I don't know. That's a really, really toxic thing. And he raised her into this business. Her first like adult long-term relationship was him, so that's all she knew. So that's it. That's the update on the Diddy case. The only other thing was just like that Trump might pardon him. They asked him about it. Trump talked about it publicly. Said he doesn't know about the case. He'll look into it. But he did say, we were friends a while ago, but I don't know if things have changed due to politics. And so then 50 Cent put out a video of Diddy criticizing Trump's politics. So that's the one good thing about 50 Cent's beef. He's helping victims now. So it's looking like Diddy's gonna go down. I mean, I think the RICO is proven, the trafficking is proven, and we still, when is it's supposed to end? I think like mid-July. Got a while to go, man. So I think Diddy is cooked. And I don't know. We'll see. You never know what a jury's gonna do. But he clearly has been painted as a bad person. People been talking about like how, if he did get off, like how is he gonna survive? And I don't know. I mean, there's people outside the court with free Diddy shirts. There's a lot. The world is misogynistic. There's a lot of misogyny in the world. The girls are still getting harassed and criticized. People are saying, like I said, the witness testimony of Mia, people are saying she's lying. The people in my comments are saying they're all lying. So you never know. You never know the power of celebrity. People don't really care when the music's good, when the stuff is good, So I don't know. I won't rule out the fact that he can bounce. He might be able to. Now the problem is, will corporations work with him? I highly doubt. Like, as a corporation, how can you put your name on Diddy? He's gonna have to go independent, straight to YouTube. I don't know who would distribute his music. Like I don't know what he can't do music no more. He can't do liquor no more. I don't know what he's gonna sell. But he's a master salesman, so he's gonna have to sell something. I don't know. Maybe he'll be an advocate for the abused or something. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. So that's the testimony with Diddy today. But I think the RICO's been proven. And I've seen some other people that I follow today think the RICO's been proven. Okay, so there's actually a case that's a little crazier than Diddy that's going on in New York right now. And I guess Diddy overshadows it, but it's the Crypto Soho kidnapping. So these crypto bros kidnapped like a guy that they had investments with or some type of dealings with on Prince Street, which if you know New York is like a major street, a major like tourist area. So I'm just like the boldness of these guys. I've ridden my bike, walked by the area like 1,000 times. But which was kind of cool. I was like, oh, so those townhouses got that much room in it? It's like it's 3 floors. So anyway, this Italian businessman, they won't say his name. What's crazy is they use Eric Adams security. I don't know if Eric Adams knew about it, but they paid Eric Adams, people that worked with Eric Adams as security, to pick this Italian man up, brought him back to their townhouse on Prince Street. Blows my mind. Because you're thinking, if you're going to do a kidnapping somewhere in East Brooklyn, the Bronx, where nobody's going to see you, that was the first mistake, to do it on Prince Street in broad daylight. The boldness. These dudes must have been on some type of Diddy times 2 drugs. So anyway, the guy's name is John Waltz, the main kidnapper. Nicknamed Crypto King of Kentucky. They said he also had like a dungeon in Kentucky, and all the neighbors thought it was weird. I think he had a mansion in Kentucky, but they just said it was just weird behavior from this dude, and it's like some secret passageway underneath or whatever. So just wild. Okay, and then his partner is William Duplessis. So these are the 2 main dudes that kidnapped this guy. So they took him up 3 flights, tortured him. They shocked his feet, electrocuted the guy, forced him to take narcotics. All right. Also hung him from the balcony just like Diddy. Okay, all this just to get his Bitcoin password. I was like, have y'all heard of hacking? Okay. Y'all got this much money, hire a hacker. Jesus Christ, don't kidnap the dude and force him to give you the password verbally. Just stick to crypto, because criminal you're bad at. Okay. They used a saw to cut his leg. I don't know how bad the cut was. Urinated on him. I mean, I don't know if they saw Diddy's trial and got inspired, but it's very similar things. They forced him to smoke crack. I'm just like, don't you want him coherent? Like, if I want the password, I don't want the crack password. I want the regular password. So they took him out in his bathrobe, just typical crypto behavior. Everybody in this is white. There was a woman that I think they said helped out with this situation. There's TikTokers saying, yeah, we saw him at the club. So he was hot. He was a hot boy. He was at the club spending ridiculous amounts of money. You know, people just like, who is this guy? All I'm saying, if you are planning a kidnapping, the week before, you shouldn't be at the club and spending so much money that people are just like, who is this dude that's on the scene now? So these dudes were just so corny and nerdy. They just wanted to be bad boys. And, you know, did something stupid. I saw something else was just like a security guard was trafficking millions, or a flight attendant was trafficking millions of dollars in cocaine. And I just feel like it's people that are doing this for the fun out of it. We're in a recession. We're going to talk about the mayoral race. I just saw they said New York, flipped 11% towards Trump, so it flipped more towards Trump. And they said it was in immigrant communities, which is crazy because they just felt like they had more money in their pocket, which is a legitimate concern. But I just think it's just, I don't know how you looked at Trump and felt like he was going to solve your problems and make you more money. I just don't understand, you know, why people don't remember the chaos that he caused his first time in office. But for some reason, people think they had more money at that time and things were better. It blows my mind. So the first place he's gonna hit is the Bronx, right? With all the immigrants up there. I mean, New York is a city of immigrants, and the fact that they turn towards Trump to solve their problems blows my mind. But anyway, I said it to say the people that should be turning a crime are voting for a criminal Trump, and then the people that actually have wealth and can live quietly and happily are turning towards crime. So it's just a wild world that we're in. And it's just nonstop crazy stories with these crypto dudes. They're all just like scammers and white collar criminals. And this is just so bizarre, man. Just so bizarre over a password. So essentially, if it's this simple, they're dumb. Like, if it's just they just really just wanted the password to make more money, like if it's that simple, that is the most basic way of trying to make money. Like, I could have thought of that. Okay. There's so many other ways you could have got the password or force it. So I don't know. I want to hear more about this. It blows my mind that you have a business dispute with somebody, and your solution is to kidnap them and torture them for the password and think you're not going to get caught and think you're going to do it on Prince Street in New York. But they got him to the house, which is crazy enough to me. They got him to the house and tortured him. But their dumbasses left him alone. When he went to go get the laptop to, I guess, let him into the laptop, that's when the dude ran out. I don't know. That's just really dumb to me. It's like you couldn't think of nothing else. Hands off. I'm thinking at this time with all the resources for hackers, why would you just not pay, a Soho Eric Snowden and just get them to hack into stuff? But that's wild. Okay. You know what? Let's keep it rolling. So, speaking of that, Peter Thiel, the psycho that he is, what is it about computers and tech? All tech people are crazy. That's what I've realized. Okay, and I live in a world of unstable and crazy entertainment, comedians. I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, I don't know anybody normal in this business. It's either they had a crazy childhood or they're just a little off. And you have to have something a little bit different about you to be in this business, to be interesting to listen to, and to talk in front of people. That's what I think it is. I think anybody who can speak in front of people and be entertaining, little different, right? But maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking that. Anyway, tech dudes are crazy. Right? So Peter Thiel is coming up with a company called Palantir, Palantir, that Trump is supporting to spy on people, but obviously they're going to target anybody who criticizes Trump and the government, suppress them, intimidate them, possibly jail them. So it's just leading to more of a dictatorship through tech and technology and authoritarianship. There's a No Kings protest, June 14th, Trump's birthday, put together by Indivisible, Indivisibble, for stuff like this, where you're just trying to take over freedom of speech. Everybody worships Trump. Nobody think for themselves. And thank God we have a democracy and a system where people can speak out and inform people about what's going on. And I saw this on TikTok, which is why I think they wanted to get rid of TikTok. But Trump likes TikTok. I like the TikTok. TikTok is great. But that's wild. That's just another scary thing. So when people think these guys are just trying to support the working class, they're not. They're out for themselves. Okay, they only care about themselves. So that leads to the new the big beautiful bill, the Medicaid bill. Okay, now Elon Musk has publicly said it takes away all that he did with Doge after he just left Doge to try to save Tesla. Due to imagine your personality is so annoying that your company goes broke and you have to leave your government office. And then I think they asked him to step down as chairman or whatever of Tesla. Now, what I just saw is he's mad about in the big beautiful bill that there's an electric vehicle mandate, which also will hurt his business. But he retweeted Rand Paul, who I think is also like a billionaire Republican. And he's saying the country is going to go bankrupt from corruption and waste. So Elon Musk is publicly speaking out against this bill. And, publicly he's saying he just doesn't like the fact that they're taking away all the money from Medicaid to pay the billionaires. We had that thing with the crazy lady, Jen, whatever, where they said people are going to die. You're taking away people's Medicaid. And she said, we're all going to die. Ridiculous. I know. So yeah, the big beautiful bill, the Medicaid. Now Trump is agreeing with Elizabeth Warren and saying, yeah, we don't want to make the debt limit higher. It's going to be bad for the American people. But meanwhile, he's helping Peter Thiel create a spyware that's going to suppress people's way of thought. You can't really speak publicly against Trump. TikTok, you can. Sometimes I feel like I'm getting suppressed. Sometimes I get a lot of views off of it. But comedians are talking about how they're getting stopped at the airport. Podcasters are talking about how they're getting stopped at the airport and question about what they do and what they speak about, and is it detrimental to Trump's brand or whatever you want to call it against Trump. So these guys are great at selling that they're for the American people. I mean, if you don't know or you don't have great insight, the way Elon Musk is selling it now is like he did all this work for Doge and he wants the American people to feel better. When underneath it all, he's just mad he's not going to make more money, which is what it always is. So anyway, yeah, June 14th, get out there, Saturday, protest. Yeah. Okay, while we were talking about Diddy and, people not believing some of the testimonies, it's been going on for a long time, just guys at work. And I remember like when Me Too first hit and I was kind of like, dang, I didn't know dudes were this crazy at work. And then I was thinking about this story. I used to work at this restaurant, P.F. Chang's, right? And by the way, I forgot what happened. What happened was like they, I didn't forget the story of what happened with this guy harassing this girl at work, but I was thinking about how we were terrible. We were all just terrible employees. I never waited in my life. I'm the worst waiter of all time. It's so hard for me not to give a good tip because I remember just how bad I was and how many nights I've ruined for people's night out at dinner. And I was young, so looking back, it's more cringe. Like, oh my God, if I ever got a waiter like me, I would be so annoyed. Anyway, I was messing with this girl there, as you do, the host, the cute one. And we were cool. And so I remember one time she came running to the front and she was like, shit just got real. Oh my God, shit just got real. And I was like, what happened? And So they had hired this new manager. He was like the manager under the managers, right? And he was young. I think he was like 30 something. And what did you? I think she said either he whipped out his dick or he showed her a picture of his dick. And they were like in like a room with where you're like packaging up stuff, and it was just him and her alone. And he had like just gotten married. Like freshman, he was like the young dude at the job. Was like, oh, you just got married. Congratulations, you're on your way. And I wasn't mortified. I didn't. I just thought it was funny. Meanwhile, me and this girl like we're messing around. And so she was just comfortable with me. So she just told me about it. I guess I didn't handle that well at all. But I just thought that was wild. It was before Louis C.K. And nothing happened to the guy. Nobody ever. We just laughed about it, and it's like that's a creepy dude at the job. But yeah, that was I don't know. I just thought about that with the Diddy case and the Me Too and everything. So I don't know. I just thought about that. Okay, so from government politics to local politics, the New York City mayoral race is coming up. I think June 24th is the primary voting. Early voting is June 14th. So this is a really interesting one because we got Eric Adams, the Turkish mayor, Mr. Turkey himself. Mr. Middle Eastern himself, Mr. Take Money for Flights himself, Shake Shack First Class. And we've got Governor Cuomo, Mr. Bully Mafia, pandemic hero, disgraced right after mayor. What is it about New York City mayors where they start off so good and then they completely disgrace themselves for some ass? Okay, now Cuomo, very charismatic, great voice, great orator. Cuomo was a governor. Andrew Cuomo was a governor. His dad was a governor. My bad. Family. By the way, dad was the mayor. Obviously, Chris Cuomo is his brother, who's also gotten really weird. So he's in the lead, most likely to win. Tons of power, tons of resources, and beloved. He's a beloved but corrupt mayor. Eric Adams, not liked at all. Not gonna win. Loved by some. I had a shorty in East New York, but people are just annoyed with him. Okay, so what I don't like is it's just. I was looking for it, but it's just hard for the average person who's busy, who's working, to get information on these people. And I'm like, that's why these corrupt people get elected and reelected. Is like people just go with the name and the face and the popularity. And I remember I was trying to look up stuff today, and it's a little hard to get information on who the candidates are, what they said, and what they've done. So I think June 14th is the day that they're going to have a debate, and you can get a feel for these people. NewYorkCityVotes.org is where you can get more information, man. But it is really annoying, and these processes need to be simplified on how people can get information. Even for presidential elections, it's just like it just needs to be a list. So I mean, if you don't give people information, they're just gonna go off an ad or going off a hearsay or people in their community, and you got to get people out of their bubble so they can know who these people are. So anyway, the guy that I'm gonna vote for, that because he seems, now they're saying he's the New York City Bernie Sanders, the local election Bernie Sanders, the mayor Bernie Sanders, Zohran Momdani, okay, from Uganda, which I was like, oh, Uganda, because he's brown skinned, so I'm like, oh, he probably from North Africa. Uganda's in East Africa, you guys. So he's got the John Liu endorsement. I think John Liu is like a big senator. He's raised the most money on the list. It says he's raised more money than Cuomo. I don't know, but he's raised a lot of money, and he's the only contender. So he wants to do a rent freeze on rent controlled apartments, make New York City more affordable. So he's got the biggest momentum right now, and he seems like the most fair one. So that's a guy like it's Zohran Momdani, Zohran Momdani. So he's endorsed by the Family Housing Party or something like that, Family Affairs Party. But yeah, the millennials and Gen Z, we like him. He's all over TikTok, getting steam. But he's got a tough battle to beat Cuomo, who has his hands up New York City's buttocks. Right. So what else? Just all the things that you want. I texted them, or I commented, can he make the trains run on time? And he's like, yes, he has a plan to make the trains run on time and faster. So that's one of my issues. I doubt that issue never gets fixed. But we have the most unreliable trains, transportation I've ever seen in my life. It's just ridiculous how your whole night or day can be ruined. I mean, the other night, just J train just down, right? Got to go an hour out of my way to get home. So that's the guy, and that's coming up. And as politics becomes pop culture, and especially New York City, one of the biggest cities in the country and the world, and with such popular, interesting figures, Eric Adams, Andrew Cuomo, let's pay attention this time and try to get it right. So Zohran Momdani. Speaking of New York City politics, Tim Thibodeau got fired. No. So Tim Thibodeau, great coach, took the brunt of the blame for the Knicks not getting over the hump. Some people are like the players that gave away that first game to the Pacers. And some people blamed his coaching style and him not going deep enough on the bench and whatever else mistakes they felt like he made. Some people say people don't like playing for him. He's kind of hard-nosed, kind of tough. But the person they're thinking about bringing in, Mike Malone, got the same criticism. I don't know, man. It's just crazy that you can be a winner and get fired at the highest of levels, and bring some people together that they weren't an older team. They were kind of like middle, but they were still kind of young. But the players seemed to like him. They didn't have a problem with them. He got along with management. So people are saying this is clearly James Dolan. I don't know if him and James Dolan don't get along, or James Dolan is just being impatient. But Tim Thibodeau did a lot with his time here and for the city, and had a lot of experience. And some people are saying they could see why who do I say? Oh, well, yeah. Some people are saying they just felt like he wasn't the guy to get them over the hump. He's not the great coach. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. But he definitely made New York City a contender. Great job. Clap it up for Tim Thibodeau. Did a great job. And he's out, man, and we'll see who New York City brings in. Now, if it doesn't work, because that's what people are saying, if it doesn't work and they don't get to what you want, which is to the championship, then this is a mistake, again, on an impatient ownership that are not letting things cook and get together. And that seems to be a theme, which nothing works like that. Everything takes time to gel and to learn the ins and outs, and experience is the best teacher, no matter how much you crunch the numbers on anything. So I don't understand the strategy of these owners thinking you can just get a player here, get a coach here. I mean, we've seen big threes. They're saying big threes are out. Big threes aren't working anymore because it's a team game, and it takes a lot of integral parts. And winning in sports is like winning in everything else. You have to show up every day. You have to figure out, what works best for you, and things have to come together, and there has to be a little bit of luck. And so it just can't happen with the snap of a finger with one coach, with one player. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't have billions of dollars, so. All right. Lastly, the Clipse has a new album coming out July 11th. Pusha T blasted Def Jam Records for not letting them put out a song with Kendrick Lamar because of the lawsuit they had with Drake. Some are saying Drake asked for that to happen, which is really bad press for Drake. It makes Drake look weak again when you're using business instead of just rapping your way out of a situation. So I didn't know this. I found this today from the Joe Budden podcast that the distribution for this album is through Rock Nation. Great publicity for Rock Nation, by the way. I don't know. They've got that bad stuff with Desiree Perez and Megan Thee Stallion going through it. So this is good. And shout out to the Clipse, man. The cover for the GQ, they looked really good. Great outfits. They're just great artists, man. Every part, from the rollout to the fashion to the music to the sound. I mean, they're both in their late 40s. And they just put out a banger. I don't know if Gen Z's down with it, but great song. Got Kanye begging for Pusha T's friendship to come back. And I think Pharrell produced the Ace of Trumpets, a song that everybody likes. So kudos to them for still having their pulse on the sound and the rap. And like I just said, it takes time, just years of experience in cooking and gelling, and they came up with a hit because they're experienced. They've been doing this a long time. So looking forward to that. And what was it? It was a song on Pusha T's last album where Miles just ripped it. And I'm like, what has he been doing? How did he just come back out of nowhere and just give these great verses and it's just back on top? But I think it goes back to what I was saying. It's just it's a lot of stuff out there that's half done and people not doing the work. And there's something that's said for hitting the pad and studying your craft and knowing your craft. So look forward to Pusha T coming back out and putting the young boys to sleep. All right, man, we got a lot done today. A lot of information. I know it wasn't too joke heavy, but hope you were entertained. And have a great week. We'll be back on Friday. Bye.